When it comes to Euro Nymphing or Tightline Nymphing, there is no question that fluorocarbon is the superior tippet material. The problem with fluorocarbon is that it's super expensive, especially if you're buying it at your local fly shop. In today's video, I'm going to be going over ways that you can save money without sacrificing performance on the water. I'm going to give you a solution for having 3x all the way to 7x at a fraction of the cost of what you would be paying at your fly shop. I'm Jeff Smecker from TroutStrike.com. I want to thank you for being here today. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel. So again, I want to thank you for joining me today. And before I get started, one of the things I want to share that's been so awesome about this experience is I have learned as much from being part of this TroutStrike community as hopefully you have from some of the videos that I've put out. Again, if you've been on my website, you know that I'm somebody who has a regular day job. I'm a school principal by day. So I am not a fly fishing guide. I was never on a fly fishing USA team. I haven't been on any of those types of things, but I'm somebody that spends a lot of time on the water when I have a chance, and I just love learning. And the past couple of years, I've just been trying to do as much as I can to create content, share my knowledge, but at the same time, I've been able to grow as an angler from all of the knowledge that I get from you. So I want to invite everybody today to share your thoughts on this topic, because I think it's a really good one. About a year ago, I published an article, and I'll share a link to that. I've recently had to update it, but I'll share a link to that in the description, called "It's Time to Switch to Fluorocarbon." And at that time, I talked about some of the solutions that I had in terms of using 3x and 4x and even 5x. At the time, I didn't have any solutions for 6x or 7x, which I'm going to present today. Paying the fly shop prices for fluorocarbon sometimes for how much I fish. It's one thing if you go out a few times a year, but if you're on the water as much as I am, I had to find a solution because it was just too expensive. I mean, there are days when you literally will go through an entire spool. So I'm going to share with you how I do it and how I save a lot of money, but I'm really interested in getting your thoughts. Now, I know there are some people that swear by the fly shop stuff, and they want to talk about tensile strength and break strength and all of that stuff. I'm not going to get into those weeds as much. Frankly, I don't really care. I've been using this stuff long enough to trust it. So it works well enough for me. I know there are some people out there that you know, they are going to poo-poo what I'm presenting here, and that's fine. I want to create a discussion. So leave your comments with your solutions, your questions, your thoughts. That would be super awesome to have a discussion on all of this. But before I begin with this, I just wanted to share that and thank you for supporting the channel and helping us all to grow as anglers. All right, so let's start to break this down. To make everything simple, you can have everything that you need on the water from starting with 3x all the way down to basically 7x with 4 products. And I'll go over them quickly, and then we'll take an in-depth look at each one. So the first one is Seaguar, and this is INVIZX, and this is their 6th pound version. The next one is Seaguar 4-pound. These two I've been using for several years. The original article that I wrote a couple years ago, one of the first articles that I put on the website, talked about these two. And then the 2 new ones that I've been using in the last 6 months or so is a new product from Seaguar. Well, a new product to me at least, is their IceX. And that comes in a 3-pound and then a 2-pound. So just as a cost comparison here, here I have a popular brand at the fly shop. There's many brands at the fly shop, but here I'm getting 30 yards, and I'm paying about $20 for this if I'm buying at the fly shop. just to give you a comparison, this spool is 200 yards, and this is about $18. Now, I don't like carrying this big thing with me out on the river, so what I've done is I've saved a bunch of these, and what I do is I take this from the big spool, kind of like a pharmacist. Take it from the big bottle, put it in the little bottle. Seinfeld reference there. But no, I take it from the big spool, and then I just put it onto the little spool. But for the price that I pay for one of these 30 yards, I'm getting 200 yards of this. So economically, it just makes a ton of sense to go this way. So that really works for your 3X, and then this is your kind of 4X, and I'll get more into the specifics of this. This is your 4 pound, same cost, same price point here. I can get a spool of 200 yards for about $18. There are going to be links in the description of this video. If you want to go out and purchase this, you'll be able to purchase all of these. Now, slightly more expensive, but still a fraction of the cost of what you would pay for the popular fly shop brands. You've got IceX. So this is a 50-yard spool. They sell these in 50 yards, and they're $9.99. So for about $10, you're getting you're paying about half of what you would pay for here, but on this spool you're getting 50 yards, where on one of these you're still only getting 30. So again, these are smaller. These wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to carry on the river. You can carry these as is. I still like to spool them up because I have a holder, and I like all of my spools to be the same. So again, I take that all the way down from 3 pound all the way down to 2 pound. So for you nerds out there, and I got a little nerdy in here, and I told you I wasn't going to get into break strength and tensile strength and all that other scientific stuff that I don't really know what it means. I'm going to just take you through each one of these, and that way you know. So we're going to start. I have a chart up here that you can see, and we're going to start with the 3X, and I've got it side by side. I've got the popular fly shop brand. So if you look here, we're starting with 3X. So the popular fly shop brand 3X, the diameter is 0.205 millimeters. Well, if you go over to the Seaguar IceX, the diameter is exactly the same. Okay, you've got the same exact thing. The strength on Fly Shop 3X is 5.67 pounds, whereas Seaguar is 6 pounds. I haven't tested that myself. Again, I haven't nerded out on it. I know there are some others that have. I've talked to some pretty reputable people who actually say that sometimes the popular fly brand exaggerate their strengths a little bit, and Seaguar doesn't really have a reason to do that because they're mainly looking at gear fishermen, targeting their product toward gear fishermen. So these types of details aren't as important. And like I said, I've been using this stuff long enough. I just trust it. So that's the 3X. If you go with, that's what I use for 3X. I use the 6 pound INVIZX. So the next one that I shared would be the 4 pound INVIZX. And here's what's interesting. There's not a true, in this system, you don't have a true 4X and you don't have a true 5X. So for argument's sake, let's just call it a 4.5. If you look at Trout Hunter, for example, they make a 4.5X. I would say that the Seaguar 4 pound would be right in between that. So instead of having a spool of 4X and a spool of 5X, I keep Seaguar at 4 pound, and that kind of serves us both. I really don't notice a difference. There's not a lot of times where I would say, I need 5X here instead of 4X or vice versa. I'm comfortable with this, having it right split between. But if you look, so the popular brand, fly shop brand, is 0.185 millimeter for 4X and 0.148 millimeter for 5X. The 4 pound Seaguar is right smack in the middle of that at 165 or 0.165. I actually looked that up and compared it to Trout Hunter, and it is spot on dead on to what they sell as their 4.5. Okay, down. That is the one that I use the most, and I probably go through it the most. You can actually buy the big spool of 600 for even a cheaper price. I haven't done that yet, but if I were going to buy one that big, that would be the one. All right, so this was exciting to me because what I said it in my article 2 years ago about this. I said, well, that's kind of the end of the line. If you want 6X and 7X, you're going to have to pay the fly shop price. However, with this new discovery of IceX, I have found that this stuff works great. So I'm going to start with the Seaguar, the 3-pound IceX, and you will compare that to 6X, and they are both at 0.128 millimeters. The strength listed for the popular fly brand is only 2.3 pounds, where this is a true 3-pound test. So you can actually argue that you're getting a little bit more strength in the IceX. I have found when I need to go down to 6X, it works great. And then the very last one, now typically if I have to go to 7X, I usually say once I have to go to 7X, it's time for me to go home. But recently I have been experimenting with it. If I'm using 7X, it's got to be certain specific conditions. A lot of times I'll use 7X with a dry dropper. I very rarely, probably never, try to use 7X in a tandem. I try to not even use a tandem with 6X because I just find that it tangles. But for 7X, you can buy this 2-pound Seaguar IceX, and you can see that a 7X is for the fly shop brand is 0.104 millimeters. The 2-pound is a tick higher than that. It's 0.117 millimeters. So maybe it's a 6.5X. I don't know. It's thin enough for everything that I need it to be. And again, you're getting a true 2-pound strength out of it. All right, so there you have it. I hope this video helped you out today to find a more affordable way to get into fluorocarbon. It is definitely the better option in terms of a tippet material. There's no questioning about that. But if you're like me and you're out on the water quite a bit and you need to find a solution to make this more affordable, I highly recommend this option. Again, you've got the INVIZX in 6-pound and 4-pound. That's going to cover you from 3X, 4X, and 5X. Those are your two, probably if you're starting somewhere, those are your two most versatile ones to have. And then your more specialized ones, you can get down into the IceX. There are links in the description that you can purchase these, and some more information, some of the graphics and things. I'll have links to the article and links to those graphics in the description below. So I hope you're enjoying the content. If you like today's video, please think about giving it a thumbs up, subscribing to the channel, and check out TroutStrike.com. Again, I'm Jeff Smecker, and I will see you out on the water.